Welcome to Weber Family Adventures Disney Day 1. So just wanted to share with you guys, our adventures to Disney. Well, we chose to take the train, and that was a pretty darn good decision. It was an overnight trip. Got us there early in the morning to Anaheim, and it's a little uncomfortable, but not too bad. That first night after we got in, we ate at Bubba Gump Shrimp. Had never been there before. It was pretty good seafood, and we loved it. Ellie says delicious. Right, Ellie?
Yes. Mention the clam chowder.
Yes.
So hey guys, I thought I'd show you guys the first room we were in here.
Hi.
It's a little messy now because I didn't think to do the blog before today. So here we go.
Hey y'all.
It's a pretty basic room, but it was comfortable. The beds are comfortable.
Yeah.
And although I do wish the pillows are a little firmer, softer pillows. Water pressure was good and everything but the sink. Don't know what was going on there, but hey, we can't complain about that too much. It still came out. So this was the first hotel room, and we're getting ready to go on our first day. So thank you very much, and we'll talk at you later.
Here's our first day at the park. We're waiting in line to get into the park.
We are doing the first ride, which is
Here are the
train.
gates. We're going through.
Ellie has been jumping like a jelly bean since we got the bags in the locker. But that was a bit of a nightmare. We'll talk about that later. So
Okay, so we're off the train now, and we're in Mr. Lincoln's Pavilion looking around, and we get to see the only peanut cart in the park. And the original plan for the park, framed by my beautiful women here, and we're going to move on to Main Street. Okay, guys, so we're on the Main Street, and we've just left Mr. Lincoln's Pavilion there. By the way, that's an awesome show. And we see our man, the man of the park, Mickey Mouse. And then we see my buddy, Goofy. And we cannot forget our first hidden Mickey found in the magic shop. And then the famous wooden Indian of Main Street. And our second Mickey right there outside Frontierland, and we're headed to Adventureland. Here we are in Adventureland, headed to our first ride, the famous Jungle Cruise. We're in the queue here. Actually, that's in the boat, but we'll get to the queue. There we go. In the queue, looking at the pictures. Gotta admit, I was excited for this one. This is one of the rides that we didn't get to see in Disney World when we were there when I was 12. And off we would go. Now, the queue in this is pretty fantastic. The girls were excited. I was excited. Everybody was excited. And we got to see the whole adventure out there. And, of course, we'd seen the movie here recently with Dwayne the Dwight Johnson, and we were primed for the Jungle Cruise. So here we are, we finally made it onto the ride, and we've started out. Here's the tiger, the snake, and on to the elephants. Now I gotta admit, I was a little disappointed on this ride. Not because the ride was bad, but instead, I was so busy taking pictures, I didn't enjoy the darn thing, which is just stupid. But, you know, live and learn. That was a lesson I learned here on day one. Oh, there's the apes, and there's one of those big old African elephants. We know they're African because of the big ears. And yes, we go on into which one? We got the jaguars, I think. The hyenas. That's what we're looking at. Oh, the rhinoceros chasing the guys up the pole. That was a fun one. We got the hippos here in the thing, in the pool. Yep, there we go. Gotta admit, the driver on these rides makes the ride. Their commentary is the thing that makes it all so fun. Oh yes, I love the monkeys in the wrecked boat. And here we go on to the boa constrictor. Off to the jungle shopping center here, and that's it. Alright, guys, so we were hot and tired after that ride, and we were right near one of the highlights of Disneyland. Yeah, Dole Whip. We found a very good table, and we got lucky because finding tables is kind of one of the big things.
Hard.
Yeah. And we got our first Dole Whip, and it was yummy.
Delicious.
Yes.
But on that day, we only tried one flavor, but on different days we tried the other flavor.
Yeah, and it was yummy.
Delicious. Delicious.
So after the Dole Whip, yes, the Dole Whip, we went off to the Tiki Hut. Now, the Tiki Hut was just about as good as Disney World when I remember it from when I was a kid. Unfortunately, my camera didn't really like it. These were the best of the photos for that. So after the Jungle Cruise, we headed on over to the Dole Whip, and then we went to Indiana Jones, which was my least favorite ride.
Me too.
But this is cool. This is the original truck
Yeah.
in the Indiana Jones movie.
Yes.
Yes. Now, after Indiana Jones, we came out and we looked for the little guy, the
Also
leprechaun.
Yeah, the leprechaun at Disney.
Yep. And we were thinking about Papa.
I don't know.
You weren't thinking about Paka?
Oh, yeah, we were thinking about Papa.
Yeah, we were thinking about Paka, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yep. And so we took a couple pictures of the little guys, the leprechaun's house at Disneyland.
Just so you guys know, if you want to look for it, it's next to Jungle Cruise and Indiana Jones.
Right. So after Indiana Jones, we moved to the River of Freedom. We took our paddle wheel boat ride up the River of Freedom. You can see Davy Crockett's boat here, and onto the elk and the moose, the fort in the island, and our Indian village. And then we moved after the Rivers of Freedom. We went to the lunch at the Cafe New Orleans. And as Ellie says, yummy, yummy, yummy. We all like the food there. After the Rivers of Freedom and our paddle boat ride and lunch, we decided to move on to Critter Country that first day. We were all getting pretty tired though. And we went to the Winnie the Pooh ride. And we were in line for quite some time. You can see Eeyore's house here. And, oh, but we did get to see one of my favorites, Piglet. Ellie liked seeing Piglet. Unfortunately, COVID is still going on, and we can't get that close to the characters, but Ellie and Becky love seeing Piglet. Unfortunately, though, Winnie the Pooh broke down, and we couldn't get on the ride, which was a bummer. Well, guys, we were all pretty tired by the time we were disappointed at Winnie the Pooh, but we kind of were hungry, and so we headed on back to our hotel and got checked in, and then that pretty much ended day one. As Justin says, it's time to go home and hotel and sleep well.